or 3 weeks. What do you think has been the biggest difference, and what do you think they could continue to improve on?
So I think that first of all, the comfort ability of the defensive coordinator and the cover guys
Okay.
will turn him loose to do some of the things that he's been doing in the last couple of games. He's been blitzed a lot more, strategically blitzing a whole lot more than he was in the first couple of games. Why? I don't know if he knew what he had and had a whole lot of comfort that number one, it could be communication, and
Okay.
it could be that he just didn't have the knowledge of who he truly had at the cornerback position. Can they cover? Can they hold down? If they're one on one, can they survive those downs if I blitz, right? And so I think he's getting more and more comfortable in that because you can see he's adding a whole lot more pressure. And I believe also the fact that some of those young guys that have stepped in have come in, and it's been a pleasant, not surprise. You can see from their talent in college that they had this, but it's no guarantee that a guy's going to come from college right away his rookie year and have success. And I'm talking about 33 right now. So to have him at the nickel position, and having performing the way that he's performing to me has given Vic some more ammunition, if you will, to be able to add to the defense because that young man is so versatile. And I'm
If
talking
we
about
could,
DeJean.
correct, we could piggyback on him. I think that was going to be my next question. You're one of the best defensive backs I've ever seen in my life. Between him and Quinion, I think those two, especially Cooper being added to the lineup, things change. What can you tell me about those two? I think Cooper reminds me somewhat of you in terms of the way he attacks the game, his mental approach to the game. What do you think about those two and how Roseman was able to hit on those two?
Yeah. So it's again, I talked about the versatility of a guy, not being pigeon to just do one thing well. So you have a couple of guys in that secondary now that can do multiple things. And when you got multiple dudes that can do multiple things, your defense all of a sudden becomes scary because now there's no telltale. You don't know who's doing what. So we can blitz from whatever. And I love the fact, once again, that Vic is adding more blitzes into his package. Again, when you have guys that can cover and you have guys that have good timing, that know how to defeat blocks in the backfield. So now you can send blitzes from different ways. And the other thing is, like, you can see the fight in these dudes. That's the
Yeah.
other thing I love in it. The fight, man. I don't want necessarily call it everybody wants to talk about dog. It's just this that it may be that, but we will see. But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, they do have a couple of guys, not just in the secondary, but on the defense that you have to kind of make slow down a little bit. Sidney is another one. Like, he hadn't been out there a whole lot, but I can't wait to see him get out there. But you have a couple of guys on defense that you have to tell to slow down, and I love it because it's hard to continually tell somebody to speed up. You want to have to tell them to slow down and control that thing a little bit.
And I think the
Sorry for all the background wind noise. Sorry about that. But did you hear what Brian Dawkins said in the beginning? I'm telling you, Brian Dawkins got a point. I think the separation of when you mentioned Cooper DeJean let Vic Fangio really sit up. And the defense is looking great. But to hear Brian Dawkins praise, his name Cooper DeJean, I think that's pretty dope. I think that's dope that Cooper DeJean is getting recognition from like a Brian Dawkins, a legend. Everybody knows, like, the media is talking about. He can't be ignored. The numbers are saying it. His play on the field is saying it. Like, he's the real deal. But again, we had to see it against, tougher competition, as you guys said. I think the Bengals were tougher competition. And to get a hit like that on Jamar Chase, who's like the leader receiver in the league right now, is absolutely insane. And Quinion Mitchell, I mean, look what he's doing. Like, the top receivers can't even stop him or can't get nothing off. He locked up Mike Evans. He locked up Jamar Chase. All these top receivers were man, this really out here. I got it feeling like I'm in Chicago again. But yeah, back to Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins is telling the absolute truth. If Fangio is getting better, and that's what makes this team dangerous. Because now we're in the top 10. We're in the top 10 of defense. mind you, we already knew what the offense was going to be, but we are in the top 10 in defense. That is really, really, really good, y'all. I don't think, if we stay in this category, I don't think no team can beat us, man. I don't think no team can beat us because our Achilles heel is like, yeah, our offense could be top 5. Our defense might be bottom 20, but that's not the case. It's not the case at all. So Vic Fangio is coming off like he was a great hire. The team adjusted. I'm going to talk more about that interview because in the beginning of the interview, Brian Dawkins talked about like how he was happy that the team struggled in the beginning and we was able to, start that 2-2 start. And now we're starting to heat up. Whereas though last year we did come out hot. You always want to come out hot regardless. You don't want to start slow. But what happened was we collapsed. And we sent our best at the beginning of the season, not towards where it really matters, like the Decembers and the Januaries and hopefully February, right? So we're somewhat playing our worst right now, and we only going to get better. We're only going to get better. So, again, Brian Dawkins has a really, really, really good point of just being a dominant team, man, being a great defensive team. And we know he loves CJ Gardner-Johnson, but again, for the rookies to get the points and not he's on to a point where he's like, okay, like Vic Fangio played the conservative because he wasn't sure what he had in the back. Because remember, the times he tried to blitz against Atlanta, remember, it got to us because these dudes wasn't guarding their guys right. But now that he see like, oh, DeJean can hold it down, and so play out really showing like he's not just, it wasn't just 1, 2, 3 games, like he wanted to do this. Oh, CJ Gardner-Johnson starting to pick it up. Oh, don't matter if it's Slay or Isaiah Rodgers, they can do their job. Oh, Reed Blankenship been good. Okay, let me send some exotic blitzes. Let me send N'Kobe Dean. And not only that, the defensive line starting to pick it up. Like Nolan Smith starting to come into his own. He's hitting like a positive slope. So, again, this defense, man, this defense might be the reason that the Eagles can take it all the way. But they just got to keep it up, man. Let's see what we do in this Jacksonville game. Jacksonville is a little beat up for the Red. A lot of games in the series. I like what Brian Thomas do. I like to play him. Travis Etienne, like he's going to be out. You know, they traded their left tackle. And they coming into the link on the Kelly Green. Well, it was supposed to be night, but it's more what, noonish or late noonish, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, man, we should be able to beat these dudes, prepare for Dallas, and then Washington. Those next 2 games is going to be big. Right now, we got to handle this AFC team. You know, we basically got to keep pace with Washington because right now they are in the first place. Once we get that spot, hold on to that spot and try to get the NFC. Hopefully somebody can get the Lions looking good. I ain't gonna lie. That's all I got for you guys today. Sorry about not having a morning video, but the kids wore me out on Halloween. I was tired, man. I was definitely tired, but I should have one out for y'all tomorrow morning. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. This is Eagle Al.